straight down the middle.
It's time for the Golf Show, presented by Cohote and O'Neill Golf Management and the French Lick Resort. The Golf Show takes a weekly look at golf in East Central Indiana and beyond. And now, here's your host, Brian Hammons.
And good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Golf Show, Masters Saturday on the Golf Show. I don't know about you, but when you hear that music, it makes me want to find the most comfortable spot on the couch, veg out, and watch golf all day, which is basically what I'll be doing when we get off the air here. Got a good show for you today. We're going to be talking a lot about the Masters. Mark Lai will join us from Augusta National to get his thoughts on what has happened over the first 2 days and what he expects to happen over the weekend. A little bit later on, Chase Wright, who grew up in Muncie, played his golf at IU, and is now a rookie on the PGA Tour, will join us and talk about what it's been like, his rookie season on the PGA Tour. And then we'll also be joined later in the show by Brendan Sweeney, the Director of Media Relations and Player Development for the French Lick Resort, and tell us what they have on their calendar this summer at the French Lick Resort. But let's get started with what has been a terrific Masters tournament so far, and what a leaderboard we have. 5 players tied for the lead after 2 rounds at 7 under par, and all 5 players are major champions. Of course, Tiger Woods just 1 shot back, but let's just run through the leaderboard a little bit, starting with Francesco Molinari. Now, Francesco is last year's Open champion. We all know it as the British Open, but a few years ago, the R&A decided that they're a little hoity-toity. And they'd said, well, we're the oldest, so we are the Open Championship. So all broadcasters and everybody that has any coverage of the British Open now has to call it the Open Championship. But anyway, Francesco Molinari won that last year, shot 70-67 or his 2 rounds. He's at 7 under par, tied for the lead. And, you know, he's unlike a lot of players. Francesco really likes flying under the radar.
You know, I think I'm getting the attention that I deserve, and it's not something that I seek or that I want desperately. So I'm happy to go about my business and keep playing good golf.
Well, if he keeps playing good golf and he ends up winning the Masters, that flying under the radar is going to be long gone. And if you remember, if you were with us last week, Dottie Pepper joined us, and Francesco was her pick to win this week. And he's halfway home at 7 under par, tied for the lead. Also at 7 under par with rounds of 70 and 67, Jason Day, major champion, won the 2015 PGA and the 2016 Players, which I know it's not a major, but it's awfully close. And Jason Day has been interesting this week because he almost wasn't able to play. He's been battling a bad back, had to withdraw a couple of weeks ago from a tournament with a sore back, and then Thursday before his round bent down to kiss his daughter before he went out to play, and his back went out again. So he had his chiropractor follow him throughout the day, worked on him a few times, which is allowable, by the way, before you call in and say, wait a minute, he broke the rules. That is allowable to have some physical work done during the round. Gutted it out, shot 70 in round 1, came back yesterday, and again wasn't real sure that he was going to be able to play, but his wife said, look, this is the Masters, suck it up and let's go. And he did. He shot 67. He's tied for the lead at 7 under par. And after his round, he talked about what it's been like battling these back issues.
Sometimes I wake up and I feel like I'm 50. Sometimes I wake up and I feel like I'm 70. And then sometimes I wake up and feel like I'm 18 again. You know, it just comes and goes, and that's just how it is. And I'm trying to do everything I possibly can to make sure that I have longevity in my game. And that's something that I need to focus more on now than ever before, just strictly because I have to work harder than most guys, especially with a back injury.
And you just root for Jason Day. He's had so many physical ailments. I remember a few years ago he battled vertigo, and he passed out. He collapsed during the U.S. Open. So he's had so many physical ailments, and he's one of the really good guys on tour. So you can't help but root for Jason Day. And of course, also tied for the lead at 7 under par, the guy that really steps up his game during the major championships, and that's Brooks Koepka. He opened with a 66, came back yesterday with what for him was a disappointing 71, but nevertheless, he's at 7 under par, tied for the lead. Here's a guy who's won 3 of the last 6 major championships, and he's unflappable. When you look at him, you don't know if he's making an 8 or a 2 on a hole. He's got the perfect demeanor for a guy that plays well at major championships. And it's not surprising that his game plan for the rest of the weekend is very simple.
Nothing's going to change overnight. I know how to play the game, and I just know how to hit the ball. I know I'm going to go out there and go do what I normally do. I'm not trying to, just because it's a major, on a Saturday, I'm not going to go out and go do anything different. I just go tee it up, look where I want to hit it, and fire at it.
Brooks plays with a chip on his shoulder. He always feels that he's being overlooked and doesn't get the attention that he deserves. And he's right. He doesn't get the attention that he deserves. And maybe because, he's not the best interview in the world. You could hear it there that he's kind of dry. But he is a great player, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if he walked away with another major championship this week. He didn't play in this event last year. He was on the couch with his wrist in a cast, so he didn't play last year and hasn't had a lot of success at Augusta, but he certainly is so far this week, tied for the lead, along with the 2013 champion, Adam Scott, rounds of 69 and 68. Adam Scott might be getting a bit of a break this week because the golf course is wet, and the greens just aren't as fiery as they normally are at Augusta National. You can see it on television. The putts are a lot slower. The ball's not releasing like it normally does on a hard and fast golf course at Augusta. He might be benefiting from that because if there is a weakness in Adam's game, it is his putting. But so far, 69-68, he's at 7 under par, and his game is firing on all cylinders.
All parts of my game I'm very confident in at the moment, and, when I am hitting it well, that's where I play my best golf from generally. That helps me stay calm out there and patient and all the things that you're meant to be doing, I guess, when you're playing major championships.
And the fifth and final player at 7 under par is Louis Oosthuizen. Now, Louis has just one win on the PGA Tour, but it was a big one. He won the Open Championship in 2010, and he has come close to winning at the Masters. Remember, he lost to Bubba Watson in the playoff in 2012 after Bubba hit that phenomenal second shot on the first playoff hole to beat Louis Oosthuizen. So Louis Oosthuizen, who has one of the sweetest swings in all of golf, is right there at 7 under par. And, of course, one shot back is Tiger Woods, the 4-time Masters champion. It's been 14 years since he last won the Masters, and he's at 6 under par after rounds of 70 and 68 after not making anything, it seemed like. Now, he did make some long putts yesterday, but inside 5 feet, he ranks, through 2 rounds, 84th in the field out of 87 players. I mean, he missed a lot of really good opportunities for birdie. He could be leading by 2 or 3 shots had he made those, but nevertheless, he's got to feel pretty good about being just one shot back despite not playing well through the first 2 rounds, really. And here's what he said after he met with the media after his second round 68.
I spent most of the last 2 hours hearing roars across the pines, but they weren't just roars, they were Tiger roars. I saw you walk off with a 1,000-watt grin. What does it feel like for you to create this energy here and to feel this emotion?
Yeah, I feel like I played my way back into the tournament. I was just very, very patient today. It felt very good to be out there doing what I was doing. This is, now 3 straight majors I've been in the mix, and so it's good stuff.
The reporter talking about the roars, and there's a difference in the roars. If you've ever been to Augusta National, you can hear the crowds roaring in different parts of the golf course, and you can actually tell who the roars are for because there's a different level of roar when it's Tiger, or back in the days when it was Jack Nicklaus or Arnold Palmer. You can say, "Oh, that's Jack," now you can say, "Well, that's a Tiger roar. He's done something good." So hopefully he continues to do something good over the weekend and stays in contention because that will make for some very compelling golf over the next couple of days. Of course, also at 6 under par, just a shot out of the lead, Dustin Johnson, rounds of 68 and 70. Just a terrific leaderboard as we head into the final 2 rounds. And I saw a tweet last night, I think it was from Ryan Ballingy, who said, talked about how great the leaderboard was going to the weekend, and he wanted to be the first to congratulate Justin Harding on his runaway 4-shot win at the Masters, because that happens so often. You get a leaderboard that looks like this, and you get all excited about, oh, this is going to be a great weekend, I can't wait to watch, and then you get some no-name that plays his tail off and ends up winning the tournament. So it could happen this week, but, man, with this leaderboard, I'm really looking forward to the next couple of days. We're going to come back and talk with Mark Lai, get his thoughts on what has happened so far at the Masters. You're listening to The Golf Show on WHBU and Muncie Sports Radio.
Cohout and O'Neill Golf Management is Central Indiana's premier golf management company, providing management and consulting services to some of the top courses in the state. But that's not all. The Cohout and O'Neill Caddy Program has sent 10 high school caddies to college on full rides to IU and Purdue through the Chick Evans Caddy Scholarship, the most of any operation in the state in the last 5 years. For more information on the Caddy Program, visit CohoutandO'Neill.com.
Add beauty and energy efficiency to your home with Larson Storm and Screen Doors and get 11% off everything at Menards. Menards offers over 500 stock and special order styles and features by Larson to let you find the perfect storm and screen door to match your home. Save energy and money with Larson Storm and Screen Doors and get 11% off everything at Menards. Now through April 13th.
Save big money at Menards.
Ready for a deal on same-day delivery? Time for a Target Run. Now you can have Target Run to you when you start your free 2-week trial of Ship Today. Same-day delivery shops the car you create and delivers it fast, so you can fill up your fridge with your phone. It's easy. Get more delivered same day and enjoy a 2-week trial free. Learn more at target.com/shipped. That's SHIPT. Target Run and done. Offer valid for new annual members.
Hi, I'm Brian Hammons. If you're tired of driving a half hour or longer to buy your golf equipment or apparel, don't. You don't have to be a member to shop at the Anderson Country Club's golf shop. They carry great clothing lines like Adidas, Nike, Under Armour, and Puma, and top-of-the-line clubs from TaylorMade, Callaway, and Titleist. And if you think you're saving money by driving to the big box stores, you're not. So save the gas and stock up on all your golf needs at the Anderson Country Club at 602 North Shore Boulevard in Anderson.
Here's a real tweet from a real Chick-fil-A fan. Blake writes,
"Just had a grilled chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A for the first time. Life-altering, to be honest. People had told me about it, and I wasn't convinced until I tried it. It's definitely the marinade and the seasonings. That's what really kicks it off for me. Grilled chicken can be so boring, and it's just not with Chick-fil-A. It's full of all kinds of different flavors. I can't even pin down what type of seasoning they're using because it's just that good."
Thanks, Blake. Send Chick-fil-A your tweets with #TheLittleThings.
It's a Pete Dye masterpiece, the Pete Dye course at French Lick Resort. Pete says its location on one of the highest points in Indiana makes it special.
The long views, you can see maybe 20 and 30 miles from many of the fairways and many of the tees and greens, and you can see it in 360 degrees.
Donald Ross's Hill Course put French Lick on the golf map more than 100 years ago. It's where Walter Hagen won the 1924 PGA Championship, and the place where today's Symetra Tour ladies battle each year.
It's the ambience around it that makes the golf course.
Combine our many resort amenities with legendary golf, and you have a getaway like no other. French Lick Resort is the home of the Senior LPGA Championship, won in 2018 by World Golf Hall of Famer Laura Davies. Play the courses champions play. Plan your trip now, online at FrenchLick.com.
Spilled your red wine? Quick, the Quicker Picker-Upper. Bounty picks up spills and messes quicker, and is 2 times more absorbent than the leading Ordinary brand, so you can get back on track quicker. Bounty, the Quicker Picker-Upper.
We're back on the Golf Show on Masters Saturday. The Golf Show brought to you by Cohout and O'Neill Golf Management and the French Lick Resort. And I want to bring in now a good friend of mine. Worked with him a long time on the Golf Channel. We had a lot of good times working together. Former PGA Tour player Mark Lai. Mark, thanks for joining us.
You bet, man. This is an exciting week. As you know, Brian, we covered many of them.
Hey, what happened 35 years ago after 36 holes? Who was leading then?
Some guy sitting right here talking to you. Man, it was it's hard to believe it was 35 years ago, but I kind of remember like it was yesterday. It was quite a feeling. And I know what all those first-timers playing are feeling, guys like this Justin Harding kid who's right near the top. First of all, it's great to play on the weekend, but I never in my wildest dreams figured I'd be leading by 3 shots after Friday. But it was just one of those things that this place does something to you. It either scares the hell out of you and you go home after 2 days, or it frightens you into playing better than you can humanly play. And that's what happened with me.
So what was it like sleeping on the lead at Augusta?
Well, Brian, people think that, you're so wired and you're so worked up that you don't, that you can't sleep and everything. But I will tell you this, that this is a tough walk out here. And for all of your listeners that have never been here, please put it on your bucket list. It's a hike, and it's very hilly. And, getting from the locker room to the practice tee and then putting all the hours in, playing the par 3 contest, all this has a toll on you. And I could not wait to get back to the room to get to sleep. You're just so exhausted. Now, mentally, your mind kind of plays tricks on you and everything, but I felt really comfortable when I got back to the golf course and inside of the rope. So I really didn't have a problem sleeping that week. My father was in town, and my best friend and his wife were staying with me at a house that we rented. So, it kept me kind of loose, and I slept on the lead twice, actually. I slept on Friday night, and then I slept again on Saturday night because, we had to finish Saturday's round on Sunday morning. So I slept on a 3-shot lead on Friday night and a 1-shot lead on Saturday night. So it was quite something.
Well, speaking of quite something, the leaderboard after 2 rounds this year is pretty compelling, wouldn't you say?
This is just nuts. I talked last night on the post-game show for SiriusXM, which is where I'm working now, Brian. The cream is rising to the top, but it's a really thick layer of cream we've got. I mean, I cannot imagine. I am kind of like filtering out a couple of guys who I don't think on that top, one of the top 5 leaders. They all have major championships. I mean, I don't think this has ever happened. Molinari, Day, Oosthuizen, Scott, Koepka. I remember days when, you and I were covering golf, and Tiger was like maybe the only major championship winner in the top 20. Now we've got 5 guys right at the top of the leaderboard, and they're all major championship. That is just crazy. So you can make a case for any one of these guys. You really can. The one guy I'm doubtful about is Jason Day because he's so doggone fragile. This guy, I don't know if he puts too heavy a spoonful of sugar in his coffee, he may be out for the week. It's just a crazy thing. But wow, he's playing well with a bad back and everything. But he's always got something bucking.
Does anybody on the leaderboard surprise you?
Yeah, I would say no. I honestly, because Adam Scott, believe it or not, here are my 3 picks to win, and this is feast or famine. It was Justin Rose, who's down the road, okay?
Right.
And it was Bryson DeChambeau, and it was Adam Scott. And Bryson DeChambeau, I figure, had something going with this place because as an amateur, he played really well here, made a big number to finish off one round, and it killed him. But he was low amateur that year, and then he's only had 1 start since then. So he was my kind of like off-the-charts guy. Adam Scott, I just like his record, and since he's been putting better this year, his ball striking, remember the day where they compared Adam Scott's swing to Tiger's swing, and they looked just like, ebony and ivory. I mean, it was like they were the same. It was exactly the same action. Adam Scott still has that action. Tiger's gone with a different action. He's had about 4 swings since those days where he and Adam Scott were being compared. But Adam Scott just still has a great swing, and he's actually putting well. Looks goofy the way he does it, but he likes the flagstick in, and which looks totally off the charts to me. I don't know. What do you think about the flagstick being in at Augusta when they're holing out 5-foot putts? Does that sit right with you?
It just looks weird, doesn't it? It's just a bad visual.
It really is, but it's helping. It helped Adam Scott. You can't argue with the numbers. So he would be the next guy I would actually throw out. I would say Day would be the first guy to go out, and then Adam Scott. But the other three guys, Molinari and Oosthuizen was playing really good at the match play. I forget who beat him, but he was making just a bucket load of birdies. Molinari and Koepka, I don't know how you pick between those guys because they're just both playing as good as any human can play.
Getting back to Adam Scott this week, do you think he's being helped by the dampness on the greens? Because the greens don't have the same fire that they normally do at Augusta National because of all the rain. Do you think that's helping Adam Scott?
Yes, I do. That's a really good point. These things are really usually edgy, really on the edge of believability as far as combining slope and speed, Brian. And the rain definitely softened everything up a little bit, and so much, in fact, that Tiger was complaining about the greens slowing up too much. He'd gotten his stroke, acclimated to the faster speeds, and then he came in, and putted on the 12th green after he got back out there, and he still made some putts, but he missed a couple of putts. Let me tell you, Tiger was luckier than hell yesterday. In some ways. He missed a birdie at 12. He didn't birdie 13. And then he gets to 14. He snap hooks it off the tee, and he hits a 1 in 100 shot through the trees on the green, 12 feet, makes it. Then he snaps another one on 15, hold a long putt there. So, there are two holes in a row right there for Tiger. I think 14 kind of turned it around for him because he was kind of sliding the wrong way, I feel. And then, and so I think the rain delay kind of hurt him. But the 14th hole brought him right back to where he was before the rain delay. So, in a lot of ways, Tiger was a little bit lucky. But then, again, he's been making his own luck. He made a bunch of putts yesterday, Brian, and that's something we haven't seen out of him, consistently. We've seen him light it up on the greens, maybe 2 out of 4 rounds or 3 out of 4 rounds, but very seldom we've seen him light it up on the greens 4 rounds in a row.
Can he win?
Damn right he can. I honestly, I hate eating my words. He wasn't one of my top 5. I looked at him as a top 10 player, but he wasn't one of my top 5. I just figured there are too many guys that he has to beat these days who have no liabilities. And, one of them's Brooks Koepka. How you can go against him. And another guy, how do you take Tiger over Rory coming in? I mean, Rory has just been, it's a real letdown for him, I think. But what Rory's done this year is just crazy, isn't it, Brian? I mean, top 6 in every doggone event, plus a win in there, and that's and a big win at the Players. So I don't know. I don't know how you pick against Rory and take Tiger over him, but Tiger's got it going this week for sure.
We have just a couple of minutes left, Mark. Who has the best chance to come out of the pack and win this thing?
Oh boy, out of the pack.
I mean, Phil's only 3 back.
Yeah, I don't think Phil's got a snowball's chance. Look, his theory is the harder I swing, the straighter it goes. I don't know who's telling him that theory works because he's hitting it off the planet. Give me the next guy, the guy in the next 6, that are 6 under par. Give me some names because I don't have the list in front of me.
Dustin Johnson, Justin Harding, Xander Schauffele, who played really well yesterday.
Schauffele's the guy I would pick to come out. Yeah. He's the guy. He's got no fear. He made a bunch of bogeys and finished with a double on the first day. And then he gets out and bogeys the first hole the next day. So he's just like, what is going on? But yesterday, the last 17 holes, he made 8 birdies.
Yeah.
So that, I think, is the guy I would be aware of if I were one of those front runners, because Xander Schauffele has no fear. And I have him pegged to pick the U.S. To win the U.S. Open this year. That's what I think a lot of him. He's already got the 2 wins this year, Craig Cann and I do a show. As you know, Craig Cann and I and you know, we all work together, but we do pre and post game. I picked Xander Schauffele as my player of the year this year, so I must be high on him.
All right, real quick, we got to go, but who wins, and what time is your show on tonight, Sirius XM?
Okay, show tonight is a post-game show from 7:30 to 9:30 or 8 to 10, depending. I'm going to go with Brooks Koepka. I just think nails. He's my new Lenny Dykstra of the PGA Tour. He is a tough dude, and so he's the guy I'm going with now.
Mark, I really appreciate you spending some time with us today. Enjoy the weekend. Hopefully the weather cooperates, and man, this brought back good memories. It's good talking to you.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Brian. Have fun, man. And radio is really good, Brian. You don't have to put on any makeup anymore.
I was just thinking the same thing. Thank you very much.
All right, well, have a great weekend.
All right,
Bye-bye.
Mark Live from the Sirius XM, longtime player, and worked with him for a long time at the Golf Channel, one of the good guys. You're listening to The Golf Show on WHBU and Muncie Sports Radio. We'll be back in a moment.
Coho and O'Neill Golf Management is a true friend of golf. They not only provide management and consulting services to some of the top courses in the state, Coho and O'Neill courses host some of the most prestigious golf events in Indiana as well, including numerous Indiana Opens, state amateurs, and the boys and girls high school state finals. If you want to take your course to the next level, go with the team at Coho and O'Neill. For more information, visit cohoando'neill.com.
The weather's heating up, which means it's the perfect time to get that next job done. At AutoZone, we have the free services you need to do it right. Like our free AutoZone Loan-A-Tool program. You can choose from over 100 specialty tools and borrow the one you need, free of charge. Getting the job done just got easier. And right now, AC Pro Premium Refrigerant is only $27.99 after our $20 AutoZone gift card by mail. Let us help you at more than 5,600 locations nationwide. Deposit required. Restrictions and details in store.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Hi, I'm Brian Hammons. Golf can be frustrating for both beginners and accomplished players. If you want to eliminate that frustration and really enjoy the game, take lessons, and not from just anybody. Go to the Anderson Country Club. You don't need to be a member to take lessons. Director of Golf Brian Garrett and head PGA professional Zach Dreyer will help you achieve your goals in golf, whether you're just beginning or trying to make the tour. To set up a lesson, go to AndersonCountryClub.net.
Hi, welcome to this Subway ad for the new Sweet and Smoky Steak and Guac Signature Wrap. How would you like it? I'll take my ex-girlfriend, just checking in. Aw.
Hey, David, it's me, just checking in. I'm doing great. Just got the new Sweet and Smoky Steak and Guac Signature Wrap from Subway. Creamy guacamole, smoky sweet Wajillo mesquite sauce, and double the tender steak. They just know what I want before I do. So, yeah, things are going pretty great for me. Subway, make it what you want. Limited time only at participating restaurants. Double meat based on average 6-inch sub. Okay, bye.
And now, an ad from Mom.
Save money on car insurance by bundling home and auto with Progressive. And cut. Oh, that was good. So are there any other things you need me to talk about, or I could do an ad for something I really like lotion? I am just a nut for lotion.
Progressive can't save you from becoming your parents, but we can save you money when you bundle home and auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
It's a Pete Dye masterpiece, the Pete Dye course at French Lick Resort. Pete says its location on one of the highest points in Indiana makes it special.
The long views. You can see maybe 20 and 30 miles from many of the fairways and many of the tees and greens, and you can see it in 360 degrees.
Donald Ross's Hill Course put French Lick on the golf map more than 100 years ago. It's where Walter Hagen won the 1924 PGA Championship, and the place where today's Symetra Tour ladies battle each year.
It's the ambience around it that makes the golf course.
Combine our many resort amenities with legendary golf, and you have a getaway like no other. French Lick Resort is the home of the Senior LPGA Championship, won in 2018 by World Golf Hall of Famer Laura Davies. Play the courses champions play. Plan your trip now, online at FrenchLick.com.
Today, business happens here, and virtually anywhere. Because today, innovative companies are reinventing the way business happens, and they need people who can keep up with the expertise and technology to get packages to over 150 million delivery points. So, Who can help you deliver the future of commerce? The United States Postal Service. See why we deliver more e-commerce packages to homes than anyone at USPS.com/future.
We're back on Masters Saturday on the Golf Show, brought to you by Cohout & O'Neill Golf Management and the French Lick Resort. And we're joined now by a Muncie native, went to Delta High School, and is now enjoying his rookie year on the PGA Tour, the big leagues of golf. Chase Wright. Chase, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Brian. Looking forward to it.
Now, I know that you were at Augusta earlier this week. What are your thoughts on the Masters so far?
Oh, I think it's great. You know, it's kind of that one tournament a year that, as a professional golfer, I don't mind watching at all. I caught myself even watching, like, a rerun of it last night.
Now, you grew up in Muncie, played at Delta. Where did you play your golf growing up?
So I learned how to play and played for, I guess, probably 12 years at Delaware Country Club. And then went to IU, and I would stay down there in the summertime. But when I would come back, I'd go out to Delaware a little bit, but mainly the Players Club after I got into college.
Do you work with our friend Tom Harris out there?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I've known him since I was 5 years old. So that's where I learned how to play the game. Been on about every blade of grass on that place. So.
Now, when did you start thinking that you might want to do this for a living?
Oh, I mean, I think you dream as a kid of, making that putt to win the Masters and different things. But I think the good part about my game is I've just kind of gotten better at each level, whether it be like junior golf, high school, college golf, and now professionally. I just kind of steadily improved. I guess I won the Indiana State Open maybe my sophomore year at IU, and that was when my college career started to take a turn for the better, and I kind of knew that it was, worth giving a shot after college.
Well, you're now a rookie on the PGA Tour. Did you have an aha moment that made you realize that, wow, I'm in the big leagues now?
Well, I guess it's the aha moment when you actually get the card or kind of lock it up like I did last summer winning on the Web.com tour. And as you know, you used to see it every week on TV. Sometimes it just comes out of nowhere and just kind of changed your life. But I don't know. The way the schedule works right now, I played the Web.com Tour Championship and then had a week off and then just went right into Silverado. So it was kind of like I was doing the same thing, just sticking to my routine. I went out there and finished 10th in my first try, so it was pretty good on the game.
I mean, you did get off to a good start. You had a couple of top tens in your first 6 starts, so that had to help you confidence-wise.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. And then, even this year, I haven't played well since the beginning of 2019, but it's not far off. I mean, I think I've missed 6 or 7 cuts by 1 stroke, which is just the worst feeling ever. Yeah, I mean, we still have about half the year left, so I'm really looking forward to seeing some new venues and playing some good golf.
Yeah, you're currently 125th in the FedEx Cup points list. Now, for those not familiar, the top 125 get your tour playing privileges again next year. Is that something I mean, it's really early in the season. It's way too early to really start worrying about that. But is that something you pay attention to?
Well, I mean, I think it's kind of hard to pay attention to it unless you're maybe trying to get in maybe the top 70, get you in a few more tournaments like in May and stuff like that. But obviously you know that 125 number is going to take a couple more 100 points. So it's kind of, I don't know. You can look at it, but it doesn't really mean much till I guess it's the first week of August now.
Yeah, you mentioned that you've been struggling in 2019. You've missed 8 of the last 9 cuts, and as you mentioned, a lot of them by just 1 shot. Is there something that you can put your finger on that if I can just clean this up, I'm going to be fine?
Yeah, well, it's just cleaning it up. I think 2 of those, at least 2 of them, maybe 3 of them, I think I was in the top 6 in birdies for 2 days. I know at Riviera I made 11 birdies and missed a cut. So there's a lot of good. It's just, it's the final few holes when I was getting close to making the cut, I just made a couple bogeys. But typically for me, it's driving the golf ball off the tee, which I did pretty well at the beginning of the year. and that's what I've done so well the last 15 months. And I would say, if anything, that gets a little out of whack, and then you're kind of scrambling around, and it's easy to make some bogeys and doubles when you're not getting in play off the tee.
I bet it gets to be a grind. Most rookies feel that they have to play every week that they can get into an event.
Right.
Is it nice to have, I know you'd rather be at Augusta playing, but is it nice to kind of have this week off to recharge the batteries?
Yeah, so I've actually got this week and next week. The Heritage is a pretty hard tournament to get into. So it's good to get a break, because once, my next tournament will be the Zurich, and from there, you hope you don't have too many weeks off. I mean, they might be some of the majors that are harder to qualify, but if you get into some of those, you could be rolling, into July without maybe a week or two off. So it's nice to get a couple weeks off right now.
So what is the toughest part of being a rookie on tour?
Oh, I think you just have to drown the white noise. I mean, as you know from seeing it out there, gosh, on Tuesday there's probably 400 people on the range, and only 100 of them are in the tournament. So I just kind of funny all the stuff that goes on around there. But at the end of the day, it's just golf, and when I treat it like that, I usually play pretty well out there.
Are any veterans helping you out? Has anybody kind of taken you under their wing and offered advice, or where to stay, or how to play a golf course? Have any veterans helped you at all?
Not too many. I mean, I've gotten to know a few of them just by playing with them in tournaments, but just been trying to kind of stick to my own game plan and play my game. But obviously, when you play with some of them, they'll give you any advice that they're that you're willing to ask for. So.
Now, who do you work with? Who's your swing coach? Who do you work with?
I work with Craig Harmon
out
of Jupiter, Florida, and then James Seekman, who's a big short game coach out of Omaha, Nebraska.
Are you comfortable yet being on the PGA Tour? Do you feel like you belong out there?
Yeah, no, definitely. Once, like I said, it's just golf, and once I've seen that now, I don't know, 14 times or however many events I've played. And that was like the most important thing for me to see right away, is that my game can compete out there, and the way I played in the fall, if I keep doing that and don't really search for anything, sometimes when you're playing bad, you're searching for something that's not broken. And like I said, I don't think I'm really playing that bad. I'm just a couple strokes off, and next thing you know, it's right back to where it was. So
it only takes one or two good weeks, and you're locked city.
Yeah.
So that's
what
it boils down to. Do you still live in Indiana?
No, Naples, Florida. So I'm down here right now, and going tomorrow to play the Monday after the Masters in Myrtle Beach, Booty the Blowfish.
Oh, that's a great event. Have you played that before?
Yeah, last year was my first time, and they actually got rained out, and it was still one of my favorite events.
Yeah, absolutely. So you say the next time you're playing is at the Zurich Classic in New Orleans, correct?
Yeah, that's the team event in 2 weeks.
Let me get. Who you teaming with?
Derek Fathauer.
Oh, good, good.
Buddy of mine from Jupiter.
Let me give you some veteran advice. Enjoy the Pro-Am, because all those great restaurants in New Orleans, they are camped out on tees all over the golf course. Now, when I would go to that tournament, I would drive around in the golf cart on Pro-Am day, and I'd drive 36 that day, because you could get it's unbelievable the food that you can get during the Pro-Am. So that's just some veteran advice. Enjoy that.
Those Cajuns know how to do it.
Absolutely. Well, Chase, I really appreciate you spending some time with us today. Best of luck the rest of the year. Hopefully you get hot and win a bunch of money in the next few weeks, and put that pressure of trying to make the top 125 way behind you.
Yeah, why not, right?
Absolutely. Again, thanks for joining us, and enjoy the Masters today.
All right, thanks for having me, Brian. Talk to you soon.
Chase Wright from Muncie, Indiana, now a rookie on the PGA Tour. You're listening to The Golf Show on WHBU and Muncie Sports Radio. We'll be back.
If you want to take your golf game to the next level, or if you're just taking up the sport, see Tom Harris at the Delaware Country Club in Muncie. The former Indiana PGA Professional of the Year guarantees that you'll improve, either with one-on-one lessons or through his popular women's clinics or the junior golf program. And if you need clubs, Tom can custom fit you from driver to putter using all the latest technology like TrackMan 4. For more information, go to TomHarrisGolf.com or stop by the Delaware Country Club at 510 South Country Club Road in Muncie.
And now, a page from the diary of Flo.
Dear Diary, there's something about protecting people's homes through Progressive that inspires me, because I just had an idea for a book. Well, it was originally an idea for a movie based on a play inspired by a podcast, but the idea is how you can save when you bundle home and auto. Might not be the best idea for a book.
Save an average of 17% on car insurance when you bundle home and auto through Progressive.
Maybe a radio commercial? Guess we'll never know.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Cohout and O'Neill Golf Management is Central Indiana's premier golf management company, providing management and consulting services to some of the top golf courses in the Hoosier State. Courses like Prairie View Golf Club in Carmel, Woodwind Golf Club in Westfield, Crestwood Country Club in Avon, Mystic Hills Golf Club in Culver, and here locally, Elwood Golf Links in Elwood. If your favorite golf course is searching for a new direction in leadership and management, go with the best. Visit CohoutandO'Neill.com.
If you own a pair of Skechers, this ad is not for you, because you already know they're the most comfortable shoes on the planet. This ad is for those who've never tried Skechers, for the few who have never experienced the otherworldly comfort of Skechers air-cooled memory foam, never floated across the ground on comfort pods, or experienced Skechers seamless knits. You're missing out. That's like never petting a puppy. So we've made this ad for you, in hopes of showing you the light. Skechers. Live comfortably. Available at a Skechers store near you, or wherever stylish shoes are sold.
Hi, I'm Brian Hammons. If you're looking for a private, affordable, fun golf course, check out the Anderson Country Club. It's one of the oldest courses in Indiana, and pace of play is never a problem. It's a charming, old-school club with modern amenities, like brand new golf carts and a new bar and casual dining area to go along with the formal dining room. It's a great place to create memories with family and friends. To learn more, go to AndersonCountryClub.net and click on the membership tab.
Add beauty and energy efficiency to your home with Larson Storm and Screen Doors and get 11% off everything at Menards. Menards offers over 500 stock and special order styles and features by Larson to let you find the perfect storm and screen door to match your home. Save energy and money with Larson Storm and Screen Doors and get 11% off everything at Menards. Now through April 13th.
Save big money at Menards.
Play legendary golf at French Lick Resort, the only place in the country where you can play courses by two Hall of Fame designers on the same property. Our Pete Dye and Donald Ross courses offer two very different challenges. Experience them both and save with our Hall of Fame package. Our two historic hotels are unique as well. Cap it off with a fun visit to the French Lick Casino. Check us out online at FrenchLick.com. Bring a group and save even more. Play legendary golf this season at French Lick Resort.
You're catering a wedding, and the bride says,
"Everyone is raving about the hors d'oeuvres. My aunt was asking if you do corporate events."
Now is the time when the right business card is essential, and Vistaprint can help. Head to Vistaprint.com, and you can customize 500 cards starting at just $9.99. You choose the paper, the shape, and the finish. Whatever your style, create a card that gives you the confidence to own the now. So head to Vistaprint.com and get 500 business cards starting at $9.99. Use promo code 2626 at checkout. That's Vistaprint.com, promo code 2626.
And welcome back to the Golf Show, brought to you by Cohout and O'Neill Golf Management and the French Lick Resort. And speaking of the French Lick Resort, joining us now is Brendan Sweeney, the Director of Golf Media Relations and Player Development for French Lick. Brendan, how are you?
Brian, good morning, and congratulations for bringing golf to the White River Delta. It's amazing that you teamed up with WHBU, and you're doing a great job up there, and we really appreciate your support, and thanks for letting us be part of your show.
We appreciate your support. Now, I know you were at Augusta earlier this week. What are your thoughts on what has transpired there so far?
Well, I tell you what, being with your past two guests, I was with Mark Lai and Chase Wright. And I mean, you got the trifecta working today. I tell you what, you got five guys who won majors that are in the tied for the lead. I don't think this ever happened before.
It hasn't. No, it
hasn't. it's an exciting time, and it's going to be tough to be getting yelled at by my wife all weekend. I have a bunch of stuff to do around the house, but I'm going to be glued to the TV. So.
Well, you've got a major championship coming up later this summer at French Lick, don't you?
Yes. It's our third edition of the Senior LPGA Championship presented by Old National Bank. That's in October, and we also have a symmetric event in July. But the great part about being part of the Senior LPGA Championship is not only being with these legendary ladies of golf, but all the benefits, all the money that we raise, and all the funds and everything that's associated with the tournament is all about the kids at the Riley's Hospital for Children. So that's a charity that's true to our heart. And as a Hoosier, everybody knows a kid from Riley's. So you could be part of it. Tickets are basically free. You could have an auction, and we have some good times that are associated with it. So we're looking forward to the crew from the north coming on down and giving us support.
So how was the Senior LPGA Championship? How has that been received by the players?
Oh, my gosh. It was the first. We were the host site of, Dave Harner, our director of golf, got together with Jane Blaylock, who is truly an awesome person, but an awesome golfer. Little known fact, which should be everywhere, she holds the record for most consecutive cuts or without missing a cut. Most consecutive tournaments without missing a cut. Can you take a guess on how much that is?
It would strictly be a guess. I would say, 100? 112.
299.
Wow.
It's crazy. It's like 12 years straight that she didn't miss it. So they came up with the concept of the Legends Championship, and then we got together with Jane and her team and Mike Wan from the LPGA and said, we want to take this to the next level. And we came up with the Senior LPGA Championship, which became the first senior women's major. So we're trying to bring women's golf into the heart of the heartland. But, we were host side of the 59 and 60 LPGA Championships. Since 1924, we've hosted 7 majors, which we're proud of. And since since we did the renovation, we've hosted, 17 championships of major significance. So we're doing a great job down at French Lick. And it's not only a golf resort, it's a multi-generational destination. So if you guys haven't been to French Lick, or if your grandparents have been to French Lick, gosh, come on down again. I'd love to have you.
You've got the Pete Dye course, which is spectacular, and the Donald Ross course. Both are consistently ranked as some of the best courses in the state of Indiana. Describe those two courses for us.
Well, you look at the Donald Ross golf course, and I think of like a 57 Chevy, the Cadillac, I should say. It's just a smooth, comfortable ride, very challenging. Donald Ross did a heck of a great job using the contour of the land, and it's a gentle rolling thing, but it has teeth. It really does. The greens were all elevated. In 2007, we did a renovation to the property, brought it back to its original greatness, uncovered 17 bunkers, and redid all the greens. And it really is a great test of golf. And then when the Cook Group came down and started the renovation of the property, Mr. Cook and Steve Ferguson met with Pete Dye, and Pete said, hey, I really want to build a really great golf course. So on top of Mount Airy, which is 982 feet above sea level, which is the second highest point in the state of Indiana, Pete came out and walked the golf course. Came back a day later. He sketched the plans on a napkin and said, "Hey, let's do this." So
now, originally he said, "I can't do it," right? And then he over lunch he just said, "Yeah." He just sketched it out on a napkin.
Yeah, he was living up in Carmel, and Steve Ferguson and Dave Harner were down in French Lick. They met in Mooresville at the cafeteria right off the highway, and he goes, "If we do it, here's how it's going to be done." And he sketched it out on a napkin right there. And we actually have the napkin in a frame hanging up at the pro shop. It's pretty cool. It's a great story, and it's typical Pete. Pete's done a lot of great work in Indiana, but he said this is one of his finest designs anywhere.
It's like you parachuted in and landed somewhere other than Indiana, wouldn't you say? I mean, it's like you're in North Carolina or someplace.
It's Colorado, Virginia. You could see all the way to Illinois. you can see for 60 miles on clear days. So, looking west at the sunsets, you can see the smokestacks in Vincennes, which is 70 miles away. But really, Pete had an unlimited budget that he managed to exceed, and we're just trying to reap the rewards of that right now, Brian.
Now, you usually have some great stay and play deals at French Lick. I'm sure you have more of those again this year.
Oh yeah. I mean, our Hall of Fame package is the most popular. It's you stay for one night, you play both courses, and our golf is unlimited, so you come down early, play all day long. It runs, probably around $550-$600 per person, and it really is. But no matter what you want to do, we have a numerous amount of packages to fit your budget and your time schedule. And we also have a 9-hole Tom Bendelow golf course down in the valley, and we put foot golf in there a couple of years back. So if you want to bring the whole family out there, the little kids can play foot golf while you're teeing up and talking to your spouse and just having some fun with it. So we're a great destination. If you're a Hoosier and if you haven't been there, now's your time to come. And if you haven't been there since 2009, it really has changed a lot. The Cook Group out of Bloomington has done a fabulous job of not only preserving the hotel, but doing an economic stimulus to the whole community. We have, we started the renovation and we had 373 employees. Now we're close to 1,700. So we're really doing a great job. We're very proud of everything we've done, and especially on the golf side. We started an Evans Scholar program. We've already put 9 kids through college just by caddying up at the Dye course. And then with our association with the Riley's Hospital for Children in Indy, not only Indy, but in all 92 counties of Indiana, we're really hoping to create a legacy that golf could carry on and do some good around the community.
If a high handicapper wants to come down and enjoy everything that French Lick has to offer, which course would you recommend they play?
All of them. With the Pete Dye golf course, we say it stretches back to 8102 from the tips, but we have 7 different tee boxes, and each tee box goes to your handicap ability. But if you're a high handicapper, you'd have to go check out our academy. We have a great teaching academy there, Brian.
Absolutely,
so
you do.
We could do it from there. But all courses, will. It's all about the experience, and all the courses will lead to your game. And just come on down and have a good day of enjoyment, and great food, great fun, great people, and creating traditions. That's what we do.
All right, one more time. When is the LPGA, the Senior LPGA Championship and the Symetra Tour event?
The Symetra Tour is the week of July 9th, and that's at the Ross course. And then in October, second week of October, 14th to the 20th, is our celebration with the Senior LPGA, and that will be on Golf Channel. And it really is a great time. We look forward to you coming down. We're having the Sweeney Cup, which is our little media kickoff for the Symetra Tour in July. So we'll get you guys down there for that, Brian. Love to have you.
Absolutely. How do you get tickets?
Get tickets to Ticketmaster, or Symetra's free. Senior LPGA Championship, you get them through Ticketmaster. They're $5 a piece, but all the money goes to Riley's.
That's awesome.
So even if you don't make it to come down, and if you want to make a donation, you could go to Ticketmaster and throw $100 down. They'll give you 20 tickets, and all that money goes directly to Riley's.
All right, before I let you go, who wins the Masters?
Brooks Koepka. That guy's a machine. Can you imagine if Brooks wins this and then wins the Open? That's his Grand Slam right there, which I don't think anybody's even thought about.
Well, he's won 3 of the last 6
Rory,
majors, yeah.
Yeah, if Rory wins, he gets the Grand Slam. He's out of it. If Tiger wins this thing, gosh, that shake the world. The guy controls the tides. It's unbelievable.
You stop and think. If he had just made some short putts yesterday, he'd be leading by a couple shots. But it's going to be a very interesting
weekend. He ranked like 90th or something. Yeah, 90th in short putts
out of 87.
It sounds like us, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely. Brendan, I appreciate you spending some time with us. And again, thank you and the French Lick Resort for your support of the golf show. And let's stay in touch. And I will be down there for your Sweeney Cup. That'll be a good time.
Brian, congratulations! Great job with the show, and thanks for bringing golf to the airwaves of the wonderful Delta of the White River right there. It's amazing. Delaware Country Club is the Augusta of the Midwest, I would have to say.
Absolutely. Thanks again. We'll talk to you soon. And that will do it for another episode of The Golf Show. I'd like to thank our guests, Mark Lai, Chase Wright, and Brendan Sweeney. And thank you for listening. Alongside producer Nick Isbell, I'm Brian Hammons. We'll be back again next week with another edition of The Golf Show on WHBU and Muncie Sports Radio.